Hey guys, I'm Sage Valentine and I'm back to review another episode of CBS's Big Brother season 18, episode number 8. So let's just get down to it. Guys, I apologize. It's been a very busy weekend. I went to a funeral, I went to Walker Stalker Con, lost track of time. I looked up, it was 9 o'clock. I'm like, how did I miss this episode? So today I was like, you know what, I'm going to go on demand and I'm going to watch the episode. Nowhere to be found. So I had to go on the app and I was looking and they didn't have the episode up, so I had to wait, and I just finished watching the episode. It's pretty funny because I was going to do my Big Brother POV, but I decided not to because I didn't have enough time. But I guess Big Brother decided to address the issue with Davon and Frank head on. As you can see, Frank has gone off the deep end with quite a few of the women in the house. Okay, he didn't bother Tiffany because, to be honest, he really can't stand Tiffany. And I feel like he can't stand Tiffany because Tiffany is an intelligent woman, which is why he's also targeting Davon and why he chose Bronte out of all those girls in the house. He chose Bronte because Bronte is another person that kind of sort of speaks up, as we kind of saw in this episode when she was talking to Bridgette and she let Bridgette know about everything that happened in the house. Davon did not go too far, in my opinion. Yes, I'm a fan of Davon, but I'm telling you, she didn't go too far, in my opinion. I think that Frank is the main person that went too far. Hey guys, I'm Sage Valentine. I'm back to do another review of CBS's Big Brother season 18, episode number 8. So here goes. I just finished watching the episode, FYI, so everything is pretty fresh in my mind. Okay. Frank received the villain edit in this episode, and he deserved it. Frank believes that he is the king of the house. He believes that he has Bridgette in his pocket, and he sure does. And when Bridgette finds out that he won 2 BB roadkills, Bridgette is going to probably end up cutting ties. I do not believe Bridgette is stupid. I believe that Bridgette is going through the motions with Frank, and eventually she's going to cut ties with him because he's got a big, huge target on his back, and it was not painted there by just Davon. There's Tiffany, there's Zakiya, there's Michelle, there's James, there's Paulie. These folks want him out of the game, and I don't blame them. I'm a fan of his. I liked him in season 14 and could not for the life of me figure out why Brittany hated him so much. But now I'm starting to understand now that I have been able to watch the feeds for a 3rd year in a row. Davon did not go too far, Frank did. Frank had been antagonizing her all week long, okay? In fact, he's been bugging her little by little since day 1. But he tried to disguise it behind being friendly, and I tapped this one on the butt, and I pinched this one on the butt. Yeah, but you don't know these people. You don't know these women. They don't want you all up on them. All these other guys in the house are not all up on the women. Even James respects Natalie's boundaries. Corey respects Nicole's boundaries. Paulie respects Zakiya's boundaries. Frank is the only one running around telling people or telling women that they are sluts. They need to shut their mouths. They're hoochie mamas, talking about how fat they are becoming and how they need to go on the slop diet, which I was pissed off about. Talking about how people need to wax their mustaches. I'm sorry, but certain things don't even need to be said. And if Frank is allegedly the oldest person in the house, when last time I checked, he and James were born the same year, I guess James may be a few months younger. But if he's supposed to be, and I'm talking about Frank, the oldest person in the house, then he should be responsible enough to know when he went too far. And the fact that Davon was in tears during that whole situation, and she just said, Frank, leave me alone. She didn't say, Frank, leave me alone, as if I'm going to finish what's going on. She said, Frank, leave me alone, as if she was trying to gather herself together because she was still in the game. This is not the first time a situation like this has happened in the Big Brother house. This is the first time that it has become an epidemic that has happened to more than one woman in the house. The other women are afraid to say something. He just kept pushing Davon the most, and that's who he got the reaction out of. However, he did not get the reaction of Davon season 17. He got the reaction of Davon season 18. I want to get as far as I can in this game, and I want to win. Or at least get damn near close enough to win. My whole thing with Frank was that he apologized to Davon, and Davon went through the motions, just like the other girls went through the motions of laughing and kikiing when he did what he did, because they didn't want to put targets on themselves. Because whenever a woman, be it in the house, out of the house, says something about being sexually assaulted, any sort of sexual harassment, anything within that circle, they end up getting targeted. And especially in this house where the women can't go anywhere, can't react, can't slap him, can't yell at him, it makes everything more tense, which is why I'm glad Davon decided to go into the diary room and breathe. But for those of you that do not watch the feeds, the Frank you see on TV is not the Frank you see on the feeds. If you can get a chance to, if you have a chance, go on MortysTV.com, go on Twitter, look up the different Big Brother accounts that follow the feed step by step by step. On Tumblr, there's the Big Brother updates where they write everything down and they tell you how Frank is, but you have to see it. He is not the nice guy that a lot of people watching this show think he is, and I finally understand why Brittany was so pissed off at him. All these people were saying that Davon overreacted, that she was basically blowing this situation up to get him out of the house. If Davon wanted to blow the situation up to get him out of the house, she would have gone into his face and screamed at him. Instead, she accepted his apology and went on from there. Now, as far as, before I forget, Frank decided to sit in the room, and I believe Corey was there, and I believe Paulie was there, and basically say, I'm going to get, the next time somebody is HOH, I'm going to make sure, or I win, I'm going to make sure to get Davon out of this house. Now, it's bad enough that he antagonized her and the other girls, but now he wants to take it a step further by trying to get everybody to vote her out because he antagonized her and he bothered her. I mean, Frank has a lot of nerve this season, and so many people think that he is the favorite of the season. I don't think so. I feel like he's going to be in a situation that Amanda Zuckerman was in when everybody thought that she was the favorite and she was going to win, and Andy Herron won that season. So somebody else is going to win this season. I get the feeling. I really, really do. All right, as far as Bridgette's nominations, to me, I felt like they were a cop-out. Paul was already up on the block. Tiffany was already up on the block. And she should have gone with her first instinct to put up Nicole and Corey. And then people would respect her more. No, those are not two people Frank wanted on the block, but it's her HOH, and she allowed Frank to run it, and she tried to convince Bronte and I believe Natalie, because they were having this big conversation where Bronte revealed that she's a mathematician and all this other stuff, and they had this whole giggle fest, and after a while I had to turn. But in all honesty, those nominations were predictable. I mean, I hate to say it because I like Bridgette, but Bridgette got the edit in this episode that she deserved. Until she starts playing this game for herself, that's the edit that she's going to get every single week. On top of the fact that it was so ironic how at the end of the episode, she was basically saying, well, when I find out who the roadkill winner is, I'm coming for them. I literally was like telling my phone, because I was watching it on via iOS on the CBS app. I'm like, you know who it is. It's Frank. So you gonna come after Frank? Because if she tries to come after Frank and he realizes that, he's going to take her out. I hope the next HOH thinks for themselves and puts up different people on the block, because Paul is literally going to end up being Johnny Mac. The only difference is that Paul is eventually going to be backdoored and put out the game, unfortunately. My only question with James and Natalie is, does Natalie really like James? That's my question. It seems like she does, but James seems to be falling in love. And see, this is one of these instances that I always talk about when I bring up showmances, where the guy ends up getting or becoming more attached to the girl than the girl being attached to the guy, and then all of a sudden they get out the house and they part ways. But it's pretty funny how we barely see Zakiya in the diary room. We barely see her sessions. On top of the fact that we barely see Zakiya with Paulie. Because on the feed, you see it all the time. They're love fests. Both of those two crazy kids are crazy about each other. As far as Nicole and Corey has a lot of thinking to do with his personal life. And I wish that Nicole would not repeat past mistakes of getting attached to a guy again in the game. But unfortunately she is. And I feel like that's going to be her downfall, because Bridgette wanted to put her up. But since she couldn't put Nicole up with Corey, somebody else is going to do it and split them apart. I already know somebody's going to try to split apart Zakiya and Paulie, and probably James and Natalie as well, because a pair is very dangerous in the game. Pretty much, Bronte knows that she's outnumbered. That's why she was nominated, and she's not really happy about it. But I mean, I feel sorry for Bronte if Bronte didn't say all that stuff that she said about James, on top of the fact she is very, very jealous of Paulie and Zakiya's relationship. And to be honest, Frank sees her as a threat because she's one of these people that thinks for themselves. Which is probably also why Frank wants to try to get Davon out of the game, even though he doesn't have the numbers at this point, and it will look really suspicious if he tries to vote her out, especially after what happened to her. I really believe he wants Davon out of the game because Davon can pick up things and see what's going on. And a lot of people call her paranoid. I think of her as being aware. Paranoid would be running around freaking out or crying at the drop of a hat. The only time I've seen Davon cry on this show and on the feeds was when she felt like her game was blown up and she was upset about what Frank did. A lot of people are calling Tiffany paranoid. I really have trouble with calling people names like that because I've never played the game before. People want to compare Tiffany to Vanessa, and there are some similarities, but I don't see Tiffany as emotional as her sister. I know that's going to sound so crazy, so crazy, but I really don't. But anyway, guys, you all take care. I did my review. I promise Wednesday's review will be on time. I love you all. It's been a very, very busy weekend. On Friday, I went to a wake. Saturday morning, I got up to go to a funeral. I had to drive all the way back down to go to Walker Stalker, New Jersey. You know, with the Walking Dead cast. Because for those of you that follow me on the channel, you know I'm really big into The Walking Dead, and I do reviews of the show. I am going to review season 7. But you all take care. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Who do you think is going to win? Who do you want to be the HOH? And who would you like to win the veto? I have to look up the veto player because I haven't been paying attention as much because I'm a busy bee, but I am staying on top of everything that's happening in Big Brother. So you all take care. Love you guys. Bye, guys. Bye.